ESPN2's presentation of the Owens Corning NIT postseason tournament is presented by Owens Corning. At Owens Corning, we know homes. And in part by Pontiac. What would you do with some Pontiac excitement?
Luke Edsel is going to walk out where he'll be met by Rolando Howell and Travis Watson. Two experienced clubs here set to have at it, South Carolina and Virginia. And South Carolina controls the tap.
Keep an eye on Virginia. Very good defensively, man-to-man. Chuck Ibsen running the program out front has done much better since he's been put at that point guard position.
Lucas picked up by Mason. Kitchings trying to lob down low. First turnover of the ball game. And here's Williams, and he lobs. Watson can't handle it, and both teams trying to go deep in the low block, and both have turned it over. Experienced lineups on both sides. You're going to be familiar with these names if you're a college basketball fan. Eidson and Howe with Kitchings up front, Lucas and Bradley in the backcourt for Carolina. And the Owens Corning starting lineup for Virginia. Hall, Williams, Watson. Jennifer's a freshman. Mason, a great shooter. Here's full court pressure by Virginia. And South Carolina turns it over once in their front court, once in their back court, and we're only 27 seconds into the game.
I got to tell you, the Cavaliers were really tough with that press that time, too, because Rolando Howell couldn't find anybody open. Good denial of the guys trying to get to the ball.
Here's the freshman I talked about, Jennifer at the point.
South Carolina goes to a man defense, 2-3. Chuck Ibsen on the wing is very, very tough to pass around. 6'7", got a great wingspan.
Here's Williams. Double team. Hits outside. Mason thought he had a shot and didn't get it. And Virginia almost turned it over again.
Some shaky ball handling on part of both clubs to start this game.
6 on the shot clock. Mason goes deep. Kitchings got a piece of that. Gamecocks on the run. Here's Bradley for 3. Kitchings keeps it alive. He played so well in the SEC tournament. And the big fella inside.
They've been waiting for him to break out all year long, and he waited till the SEC tournament. He made the all-tournament team down in Atlanta. Had a terrific 3 games.
And he hadn't played well up until that point. Watson got it on the baseline.
I really like Travis Watson. 6'8", 225, a junior out of Oak Hill Academy. Tell you what, he is a force to be reckoned with down inside.
Again, full court pressure.
Kind of interesting to have two teams that have so much experience on the part of both clubs. Virginia's got 4 freshmen that play a lot. South Carolina's got 1 that plays a lot.
But you still see 4,000-point-plus scorers on the floor for Virginia and a lot of familiar names for South Carolina. Here's one of those guys, Watson, Travis. 1,078 points after that turn on the baseline. Well, 4 guys in the 1,000-point-plus club.
Good idea to get it up before he got the double team.
Bradley, 5 on the clock. Oh, what a hook pass. He got down on the baseline. They didn't get it to pay off as Howell missed off the glass.
Howell had a wide-open layup. Roger Mason looked back at Jennifer. He says, pick up the ball. I laid it out there for you.
Here's Watson again. Travis has another.
Travis Watson complaining. He thought he was hit on the arm. Second-team All-ACC performer.
As he was a year ago. A measure of consistency. 3-on-1 for the Gamecocks. And they throw it away. That's not what you want to do on a 3-on-1, and Dave Odom well aware of that in his first season as the head coach at South Carolina. He's been in this building many, many times, though. 7 years an assistant to Terry Holland at Virginia before going on to a successful Wake Forest career. Pete now in his 4th year already at Virginia.
Time goes by fast.
Sure does. Seems like yesterday Pete took the job. Now it's 4 years later. Jennifer for 3. And Kitchings another rebound.
Don't forget, you see the center initiate the offense. Watch Lucas pop out.
Lucas has a 3 look. Missed it. Kitchings has another board. Big guy come to work on the glass. Missed it offensively, though, and Watson will clear it off. So Virginia by 2.
South Carolina played a little zone defense to start this game. They're back in the man-to-man now. Watson wants it back inside.
He draws a double team in a hurry and threw it away. A lot of turnovers early.
Shaky play. Nice
pass inside.
Ibsen with a nice pass. Good run into the floor by Howell that time, right down the middle.
Evens it off at 4. And a whistle and a foul.
All right, now the question is, how in the world does Adam Hall get that wide open lane down the right side? Watch again the pass by Itson right here. You see Hal right in the middle, run right down the middle of the lane. Nice pass by Chuck Itson.
No doubt. Chuck has over 100 assists. He's pretty good in just about every category. Now at the free throw line, Adam Hall, another one of the seniors, one of the captains out of Katy, Texas. And, whoa, he looked like he was on the road when he took that free throw.
He didn't even draw iron.
No.
The crowd's probably wondering, which team is this? It's not the team we saw all year long.
You're supposed to have trouble on opponents' floors when you're shooting free throws. And he missed them both. Virginia might get another crack at it, though. Nice hustle by Williams. And he got a timeout call. Cavaliers take a timeout. 16:23 remaining in the first half, tied at 4.
Neither club seems to be motivated to play tonight. A lot of rough
turnovers.
play, yeah.
South Carolina making their 7th appearance in the NIT, 7-7 overall. Reached the quarterfinals once in the 80s, once in the 90s. Virginia won the championship in 80 and in 92. They won it in 92 with an overtime victory over Notre Dame, 81-76. The last time we were here, last time I did a ball game here, probably the same for you, Larry, and we've done hundreds in between. 2 years ago, it was Virginia and Georgetown, and they played triple overtime. These teams have seen a lot of each other in the old days when both were members of the ACC.
1955-71, they were both members of the league. Frank McGuire was the basketball coach of South Carolina at that time.
Following the timeout, go right back inside to watch him. You know Dave wants him to touch it whenever he can. He airballed one, too, after drawing a double team, though.
Boy, Itson really did a nice job of knifing between 2 defenders that time with the dribble.
Itson inside. Gives Carolina the lead.
Pretty nice roll that time. Itson with 2 good moves. The second one got him a basket.
Carolina back in front by Deuce.
One thing South Carolina consistently has done well this year is play defense. It's been their offense that's been inconsistent. You never know when they're going to score 50 or they're going to score 90.
Right. They keep people down to 61 points a game, which is best in the conference. The problem is sometimes they don't get that many themselves. Mason picks up an offensive foul. Right now, the guests are in front. South Carolina by 2.
Bid now on exclusive props from a season on the brink. Log on to ESPNauctions.com.
Tina?
Hi, I'm going to see Todd.
Ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm trying to keep the mileage down on this car, so I drive it backwards 4 days a week.
Need a motor oil for a high-mileage car? We developed one. Pennzoil high-mileage vehicle restores the performance of older engines.
If you have a well-oiled machine with over 75,000 miles, bring it to Jiffy Lube for Pennzoil high-mileage vehicle.
What would you do with a Pontiac Grand Am?
We'd probably put a little pep in our step, ladies. What's something you've never done before?
Let's go go-karting and bump each other.
How's my driving? Look, Wisconsin! You guys want a bungee?
That'll be a blast. Out to the middle, baby.
Boy, GT. Car just live.
What would you do with a Pontiac Grand Am?
Love you.
Tell us at Pontiac.com.
You see a countryside without phone lines. At Franklin Templeton, we saw an opportunity to invest in what became one of the world's leading wireless communications companies. A smart call for our shareholders. Uncovering hidden opportunities like this requires a unique perspective, one that has made Templeton a pioneer in global investing. Franklin Templeton Investments. Gain from our perspective.
May your travels bring you serenity. Satisfaction. Like when you book ahead, ask for the daylight savings rate and save 25% on your days in room. It's like getting the bathroom free. All you need is the inspiration to book now.
You wanted to see me? Did you cook my steak? Yeah, you are
awesome! For a great steak,
Would you sign my belly?
Head to Applebee's Steak Stampede. Eating good in the neighborhood.
Carolina by 2, 15:37 to go in the first half. Friday night exclusive coverage of the NCAA Women's College Basketball Tournament starts on ESPN2. First round action, 6 Eastern. Tournament will tip off with Indiana against TCU at 11:30 Eastern. Santa Clara meets LSU on ESPN2. ESPN is your exclusive home for the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship.
Cavaliers right back out with full court pressure. South Carolina handled it a lot better that time. Now they put Bradley at the point, move Itz into the wing.
Petrovic is in the lineup for the first time tonight for South Carolina.
I think they're not happy with the way the Kitchens was playing underneath.
Well, he had 3 rebounds. Pete Gillen's going to his bench right now, too, immediately following the timeout.
They wrote him with a pensive look there.
Harper comes in for Virginia, as does Jason Clark. Both are freshmen.
Pete Gillen very happy with his 4 freshmen he got signed this year. They played very well for him. And they needed them because they've had some difficulties. Some injuries, some guys leaving the team. Maurice Young left the team in November. And injuries throughout the year, and those freshmen have gotten a lot of playing time.
Bradley, deep ball. Got it. That's 249 in his career. That's tops in South Carolina history. He's a shooter. When you get him going, look out.
He launched more three-point shots than anybody in the SEC this year.
Hall missed in close. Ball comes loose. Will be picked up by Rolando Howell.
I don't know how Adam Hall missed that one. He almost could have been up on his tiptoes and knocked it in.
I think he was just a little too deep under the backboard. At any rate, he gives South Carolina now a 5-point lead after that shot by Bradley. And now it's up to 11-4.
Itson with a nice pass inside. Chuck Itson, one of those guards that's very difficult to guard. 6'7". He's a good guy on defense, and he can really pass the ball.
7 straight for the Gamecocks. Hall gave up the 3, jump stop in the paint, and came up short. Williams will check back in, and Hall's going to go out. 13:59 to go. We've got a timeout.
Pete Gillen wants a timeout. He's going to talk to his club a little bit. They don't seem to be very focused right now on the start of this basketball game.
You know, they were worried about that a little bit. I talked with Tom Harrion before the game, on the assistant coaches of Virginia, and it's all about who is focused in the first-round game. And Pete was worried about that because, quite frankly, they thought they were going to do at least get 1 win in the ACC tournament. They thought that would lock up the NCAA for them. And they hit a North Carolina State buzzsaw that couldn't have been hotter. NC State shot 60% plus from the floor, and they were 13 of 18 from three-point land of the ACC tournament in Charlotte. And there went Virginia's possibility of winning 1 in the ACC tournament. So then they turn around and you have to get your mind set to be in the NIT, whereas South Carolina knew that they'd have to win the SEC tournament to go to the NCAA. They had such a great run, although they came up short to Alabama. And right after that game, Dave Odom in Atlanta said, you know what? If the NIT wants us, we're ready to go. We want to be there. And I think that's the way they're playing tonight. Petrovic is underneath.
Pretty nice move. I don't know how he avoided the charge underneath there. Jason Clark was in great position to draw it.
13-4.
South Carolina goes back to his own.
And Virginia better wake up before the Gamecocks go away and hide here.
Gamecocks keep looking at it. There's Itson with another steal. That's something he does well, too.
Boy, I guess one of the best, not only in the conference, but in the country. Bradley rimmed out a 3. Petrovic just went up and had it swallowed up by Jason Clark, who leads Virginia in block shots. And he just swallowed one that time.
Petrovic has had the inside position and tried to go up, and it was a great block from behind.
Shows you what Jason Clark is capable of defensively. It's his 38th block shot of the year.
He picked up 8 blocks in one game this year against VMI. At least have a guy around here who blocked a few shots.
Ralph blocked a few shots.
He did.
Watson's the only guy that scored for Virginia. He has their 2 field goals in 9 attempts. And foul. Petrovic is trying to stay with the aforementioned Watson.
Petrovic has had a real problem fouling in recent games. He's going to take a seat on the bench right now. Kitchen's going to get back in there. I'm sure he's had his lecture. It's been well delivered, and he's back out there ready to play.
We're at University Hall in Charlottesville, Virginia, in round one of the Owens Corning NIT matchup of Atlantic Coast Conference and Southeastern Conference opponents. This is the 49th get-together between these two teams, but a good portion of those, of course, are both members of the ACC. Here's Harper outside, and that was blocked by somebody. Williams, though, picked up the garbage in close, and Chris has his first basket.
And there's right back.
That's a long dry spell.
Yeah. This is something Pete Gillen brought with him when he came down from Xavier. He says, we're going to go up-tempo. We're going to press. We're going to run. We're going to play the type of basketball kids today like to play.
And a push on Clark, trying to stay with Howell. Clark picks up his first.
Take a look inside. You'll see right here, Itson with a good look. He's ready to bounce the ball in here. Clark's got a saddle on him.
Rodeo time. So South Carolina with fresh clock, inbounding into their own basket.
Carlos Powell, the freshman from South Carolina, and boy, he is a really good one. I really like the way this kid plays.
Block shot by Clark.
Terrific block by Clark.
On the other end, chance for a three-point play. The freshman, Harper. So Clark, freshman on one end, Harper on the other end. Takes it in, chance for a three-point play.
Terrific defensive play on Virginia's end of the defense. Harper ends up with the basket on the other end. Look at this play. Boy, that is a great block by Jason Clark.
Missed the free throw.
Itson's got that ball way out front, trying to set this offense for South Carolina.
Left-hander puts it up there and missed it. Kept alive, though.
How about the rebounding by Kitchens?
That's 4 for Kitchens, and Lucas, a little guy underneath.
A little carousel move there.
Virginia almost turned it over on the baseline again. Watson got mugged by Warren. Chris Warren picks up his first foul. Timeout with 11:24 remaining in the first half. South Carolina has led most of the way. The little guy gets in the act. Two-time captain Aaron Lucas puts him in front, 15-8.
Bud Light, please. Can I, oh, there you go. Oh, hey, wait. Can I have a Bud Light, please? Yeah. Hi. Can I?
With a great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down.
Hey, I'll be right down. Oh, wait.
Make it a Bud Light.
Rainbow Randolph is the king.
He once was rich. He once was famous. And he once was sane.
Passing the show with mental patients. I like that.
From the twisted mind of Danny DeVito, the director that brought you The War of the Roses and Throw Mama from the Train.
What's up?
Critics are calling Death to Smoochie dark, demented, and wickedly funny. Death to Smoochie. Rated R. Starts Friday, March 29th.
What would you do with the Pontiac Grand Prix?
I'm out, man. Let's go.
I'm out to see the world. San Francisco, here we go.
Are we having fun yet? Doesn't take much to have fun, does it?
This is like riding on a surfboard.
You didn't have to call me Dixie if I wear this.
All right, Dixie.
I can smell the salt water from here. Give us a swell, baby. So what would you do with the Pontiac Grand Prix? Tell us. Pontiac.com.
There's some good surf out there.
I sacrifice my weekends printing high-volume jobs and never get a thank you. He says things like win-win situation and gets a company car. If only I had better room presence.
Toshiba copiers make you look good.
Is your dandruff sending the wrong signals?
Go! Go!
No.
Get Selsun Power. Doctors recommend Selsun Blue. Man, that tastes awesome. Get Selsun Power.
South Carolina's led most of the way in this first-round NIT matchup. They lead 15-8 here. On the season, the Gamecocks, as Larry mentioned, great defense. That is 17th best in the country. That's 61.5 against. Their turnover margin is second best in the SEC. Virginia would prefer a little more up-tempo, kind of like what we had last night in that Louisville-Princeton game. Tonight, South Carolina shooting 47% so far. Virginia's having all kinds of troubles, and they just turned it over again.
One of the things that's happened to Virginia in the last couple of weeks of the season, everybody is zoning them. They're just packing it back in and keeping it away from their big guys and forcing the guards to beat them out front. Virginia has lost 9 of their last 12 games, I think principally because of that.
Yeah, good point. Whistle. And a foul is going to be on Brown. Elton Brown, another one of the freshmen, 6'9". Picks up his first.
South Carolina wants to be very patient with the basketball. They'd like to keep Virginia on defense as much as they can.
Harper on it, and he got around him. And kicks outside. Powell gave it up. Had an open three and didn't take it. Warren into all kinds of traffic. Not a smart move.
Well, he had Itson wide open. If he could have pulled up and not gone forward with his body, his momentum carried him right in there for the player control foul. Watch this, right down the lane. The good dribble penetration. Nice job of moving over there and taking the charge. Jason Clark. We've mentioned him several times tonight on the defensive end.
Clark takes the charge, has 2 block shots. Chance for Virginia now as we approach the midway point of the first half, and over and back. It's just way sloppy right now for the Cavaliers. Pete doesn't like the looks of his. I know that. And he wants a timeout.
He's going to take the full 60, too.
He might take the 60 and then ask for another one. 10.5 to go in the half. 15-8. South Carolina has led the entire way with the exception of Virginia being up 4-2 very early. Owens Corning NIT continues. 2 more first-round games on ESPN and ESPN2 tonight. Next, here on ESPN2, it'll be LSU against the Iowa Hawkeyes. Steve Alford's team played well in the Big Ten tournament. LSU played well as well at the end of the season. At midnight, it'll be Temple traveling to Tark Country to take on Fresno State on ESPN. Owens Corning NIT on ESPN and ESPN2. Temple and Fresno State, the winner of that one will meet Louisville, a survivor over Princeton last night in a game hopefully you joined us for because it was a good one. Manhattan Villanova and Louisiana Lafayette, Louisiana Tech, and Houston Vandy. Those games are tonight as well.
You know what? That's going to be a good game for Temple out there starting at midnight. That's about the time they get up and go to practice.
That's right. John will just take them out and say, boys, it's just like those 5 o'clock workouts, so let's just go play. That's only about a 2-hour difference. You're right. I like that. I don't think it's just an early morning wake-up call. Here, Virginia is looking for a wake-up call. And Pete Gillen's done about everything in his power, timeout-wise, to try to get their attention and shake the cobwebs, apparently, of what happened to him in the ACC tournament or down the stretch, if you will.
Pretty good idea by Dave Odom that time to go ahead and put that press on, forcing that backcourt violation. Here comes Virginia with one.
And there's a double team, but it's a foul. It's going to be on Chris Williams. Chris picks up his first. Lucas, Kitchings, Powell, Bradley, and Boynton on the floor right now for South Carolina.
Virginia team is such a puzzle. I mean, they beat a really good Duke team in here, and they lost by 20 to North Carolina State and to Maryland.
And Kitchings called for an offensive foul. Tony moving at 270 inside, a little too strong. And Dave Odom watches him, stares him all the way to his seat.
Dave always has that professorial look to him. You know, he always wants to instruct somebody.
That's right. My daughter even said that watching their last game in the ACC tournament. He looks like a teacher dad. I said, well, he is. He's a basketball coach. Harper knocks it down from the outside.
Jermaine Harper, one of those good-looking freshmen. More of a slashing type scorer. Boynton in trouble.
Cuts the lead down to 5. Trying to pick up the defensive intensity of the Cavaliers.
Virginia doing a much better job the last 2 possessions against South Carolina's offense. They've gotten more aggressive.
Lucas got free around a pick but missed the three. Rebound comes off to Harper. And Jermaine runs it up, drops it off to Mason. Mason's been awfully quiet. This guy's number 3 scorer in the ACC. He's barely touched the ball. Williams been around a long time doing that.
Got a strange looking shot, doesn't he?
Yep.
Looks like he shoots it just below his eye socket.
Good for 1,808 points, though, so something's going right.
Don't change it.
Leads down to 3 at the 9-minute mark. Lucas, a kick out, wide open foul, and he missed the 3, and Watson with a rebound for Virginia. Here comes Harper.
The shot you got to make when you're wide open like that on the baseline. Good
nice
pass.
Look inside to Brown. Great look by Williams.
Chris Williams with 2 good back-to-back plays. The baseline jumper and the pass.
And now Dave Odom wants a timeout, and all of a sudden the crowd into it. They've been waiting for something to cheer about the last couple trips down court. They got it. First it was Harper on a jumper, then it was Chris Williams on this one on the baseline, Larry.
Nice move by Chris Williams right here, getting around to the inside. He got by in there, Carlos Powell, and buried it. The one thing I like about it is this pass that he makes right here. Now look at the opening right down in here. You got to go right down the middle because that's where the opening is. The pass is going to come from there. Now watch this. Right there, drop it down inside. Good look by Chris Williams. Pretty play.
The mistake Jamel Bradley made there was to think weak side that he had to cover somebody instead of staying in the lane. And Chris Williams with a couple of buckets, and he's all-time everything at Virginia. Top 10 in 7 different categories. As I mentioned, over 1,800 points. And now Harper hounding Bradley, trying to get it up court, and he's in trouble, and he walked with it.
Question is, I want to know why he picked his dribble up right at the midcourt line. Somebody's got to come and help. If there's nobody there to help, you got to keep pushing the ball forward with the dribble.
So with 8:38 left in the first half, Virginia has their first opportunity since the opening minute to take the lead.
Defense got him going, Brad. When they started playing better on the defensive end, their offense started to click.
No doubt about it. Wow, tough pass. There's Brown for the lead.
Great play. Travis Watson with a little shovel pass.
16-15, Cavaliers. And now it's South Carolina that's got to settle in a little bit and play more like they did early.
Crowd's gotten into it now, too.
No doubt about that. And a good crowd on hand, actually. Tonight, the students are on spring break. There's still a lot of folks in here. Lucas. Travis just 5 on the shot clock. Jamel Bradley, deep ball. Had to hoist it up. Wasn't the one he wanted. Watson clears off the miss. Right back inside to the big guy. And he almost threw it away. But Watson comes out of the pile with a loose ball. I don't know if Mason's going to touch this thing or not.
Has he scored yet?
No. He's barely. This is the 3rd time he's touched the ball that I can remember. He's a guy that has 83 pointers this year, 19 points a game. There's the dime to Brown, but it came out. Watson made sure it went back in.
Good offensive rebounding by Virginia. South Carolina going to sleep on that defensive glass.
And an elbow foul on Chris Williams. So Dave Odom ready for that timeout because Virginia's on an 8-0 run. They lead now by 3. Giving it up to each other.
What would you do with a Pontiac Grand Am?
We'd probably put a little pep in our step, ladies.
What's something you've never done before? Let's go go-karting and bump each other.
How's mad driving?
Look, Wisconsin! You guys want a bungee? That'll be a blast. Out to the middle, baby. Woohoo, GT. This car just flies.
What would you do with a Pontiac Grand Am?
Love you.
Tell us at Pontiac.com.
On Friday, 64 teams will play a little harder, act a little tougher, talk a little louder. Because who wants to be part of the crowd when you can be a champion? The NCAA Women's Basketball Championship.
First round action begins Friday at 6 and 11:30 on ESPN2.
Welcome to Flourtown's largest buffet. China Buffet staff of experienced cooks come early and stay late to keep 70 items on our food bars fresh, tasty, and hot just for you. Like fish, shrimp, we've got it as much as you like. Chicken, mouth-watering. Beef and pork cooked several different ways, and you'll like them all. So come on over. You'll love the China Buffet.
Thank you for dining China Buffet.
For men, women, and boys, and shoes, sofas and chairs, pictures to book, things to make living better. My house to yours at a fraction of the original cost. No wonder we outsell the competition. We're the largest consignment shop in Charleston.
We want you to feel like you've gotten a bargain at My House to Yours, because it's not how much you spend that makes you feel good, it's how much you save. Maybe it's time for a visit to My House to Yours consignments.
Elsewhere in the NIT, Syracuse hosting St. Bonaventure. Deshaun Williams finds Hakeem Warwick. Fights off a couple of guys, jams it down. Cuse up by 7 at halftime.
All right, John, thank you. Nice to have you along with us tonight. We know you and Jay are waiting for halftime. First round, St. Bonaventure, Syracuse. They'll update that game at the break. Bowling Green, Butler, New Mexico, and Minnesota getting together. You see the other first-round games, second-round action next week. Here in first-round play, South Carolina had its way with Virginia for a good portion of this first half. But Virginia has picked up the defense, as Larry said. They get another turnover there. And Mason comes up with a steal, but he walked with it.
Picked up that foot. Duke Edsel makes a proper call. He turned and picked up that pivot foot.
And Pete Young just said, calm down, guys. They have the lead now by 3 with 6:48 to go, courtesy of an 8-0 run before that last time out.
Gamecocks look like the team's a little disorganized right now, and I think it's principally because of what Virginia's done to them with their pressure defense.
Walton now will bring it up. Virginia started cold, and they've warmed up. Kitchings asking for it down low. He's got the freshman on his hip. Gets it in the low block and draws some serious traffic. And with that, it leaves Rolando Howell open for his 6th point.
Well, it's a nice weapon to have. A 6'10" post man that can pass. Kitchings with a good look to Rolando Howell that time from about 8 feet out.
I don't know if anybody knows what's with Tony. He played so terrible at the end of the regular season for a long stretch. He hit the SEC tournament. He looked like all world. I don't know if anybody knows.
I don't know what's wrong with Roger Mason right now. He needs points.
He's got none. Watson, long ball. Whoa! Travis drops in his 6th three-pointer of the year. He's just feeling it, I guess.
It's only his 13th attempt of the year.
4-point Virginia lead. Kitchings thought about it and thought better of it. Pass into the low block. It's Howell again, and he got the roll. Rolando playing well right now, the 6'9" sophomore out of Columbia.
I like his game. He can play facing up, or he can play with his back to the basket, either one.
He's played well. Last 5 games, he's averaging 15 points and 6 boards, and he's got 8 points to lead the Gamecocks right now in scoring as they cut the lead of Virginia's to 2. Mason thinking what Larry said, but he kicks it outside to Harper. And Watson keeps it alive. Nope. Out of bounds? Yes, he did.
Good hustle that time by Watson. If he's not there, they don't get the basketball back. Aaron Luke is trying to run with him to go catch up with the ball and slap it away from him.
Travis, one of those guys, you look at him and they list him at 6'8", 255. There's no way he's 6'8", I don't think, but he plays kind of like a guy that's 6'8". He and Chris Williams came into the game with the exact number of career rebounds. That's kind of amazing. 781 rebounds each. One's a junior, one's a senior. Inside is the freshman, Jermaine Harper. He's looked really good off the bench. 6 for him.
Now, they label him as a slashing-type scorer. That was a slashing-type move.
No doubt. And quick foul called on him. Officials aren't letting anything get away tonight, are they?
No, they're not. Watch Harper right here. Good move. Quick step. Got it up there quickly before the defense could converge on him to reject it.
That was a long step. That was part of the slash you're talking about. Could have been a traveling call, but we'll give it to him.
scorekeeper did.
Watson with a steal. Travis on the break. Kitchings has to let him go.
Well, the defense is what's picked Virginia up. Kitchings caught unaware that time. Heads up play.
Travis Watson showing why he was on the second-team ACC lists. 2 years straight.
Just play defense like that. That's elementary, my friend.
Approaching 4 minutes. The lead is 12-6. Howell's been most of the Carolina offense. Itzen draws a double team, and Howell's got more offense.
Nice pass by Chuck Itzen. A little two-man game down there in the corner. Didn't let anybody else play.
Chuck can do a lot of things. Good dish man. You talked about he leads the club in steals for the second year in a row. And Virginia turns it over. 3 minutes and 43 seconds remaining. Travis Watson has led the way for the Cavaliers. Their leading scorer with a nifty bit of defense there. The flush on the other end. Cavaliers by 4.
For over 60 years, Owens Corning has been advancing the science of insulation, roofing, sound control, even home theaters. And everything we've learned, we've put into one very special place, your home. Owens Corning. We know homes.
Checking out digital cameras?
Yeah, I need FireWire compatibility so that I can email my pictures.
Sure. This one also makes MPEG movies.
Really?
He's excited. It's for our baby. Congratulations. Considered any names yet?
Yeah, maybe Sony or Olympus, but you're the expert, right?
We know how you feel. That's why we're here. Circuit City. We're with you.
How about an LCD screen?
LCD, chickenpox. We're going to screen for everything.
Of all the minivans available today, only one comes with the government's highest 5-star safety rating, a 10-year warranty, and a starting price of under $20,000. The Kia Sedona. Pretty impactful, isn't it? Right now, get 0% APR financing on the 2002 Kia Sedona.
Mike, let's take a look at those reports next Thursday. And Tom, Susan, set up a meeting on Monday. Any other thoughts?
You know, sir, instead of saving money by having only one office pen, we could just go to Staples.
Yeah, with Staples 365 savings, they compare prices and back it up with 110% price match guarantee.
That's sharp thinking.
Hey, client's here. We need the pen.
Low prices on every item, every day. Staples 365 savings. Yeah, we've got that.
Travis Watson leads the way for Virginia with 11 points. 10 of the last 12 games he shot better than 50%. And Larry, tonight he's 5 out of 7 from the floor.
And he's doing just about everything. It's very elementary for Watson. Watch him right here on that turn on the baseline with the back to his basket. Now he faces up, nails the three. There's a little bit of everything. The defensive end, a good steal against Kitchings right there and beating it down the floor and keeping it in the open court. He'll tell the guards about how to handle the ball after this game.
There's his numbers, along with 7 rebounds. Wide open is Howell. He's been the offense for Carolina. He's got 12. And Orlando has been shooting 74% from the floor the last 4 games. And trust me, he's not hurting his field goal percentage any tonight. 2-point game with 3:20 left in the half.
Interesting what a reversal South Carolina's gone through right now. They depended on their guards so much this year. Now it's Howell and Kitchings that are picking up the offense.
Yep. Mason still scoreless for Virginia. 5 on the shot clock. He's going to have to hoist one here if he knows about the clock. Hit the rim. Ball is still live. Out of bounds, South Carolina. Virginia lost its head there a little bit on the shot clock. Watson, who this season has had 16 double-doubles, and you can bank that he's going to have another one tonight because he has 11 points and 7 boards already.
He led the ACC in that category this year. And that's a league that had a lot of people that could play.
That's right. Itzen has to work against Hall just to get it in the front court. Got it to Lucas down in the corner. Wow, is he in a groove?
Brad, you and I have seen him play a couple of times. Every time I show up to watch him play, it seems like he plays like an All-American.
No doubt about it. He had one game that we did, he barely missed. Watson's doing the same thing. It's the Howell and Watson show.
Big-time move inside that time by Travis Watson.
13 for one, 14 for the other. Not a bad half by either. 27-25.
Again?
In and out this time. And Virginia lost it. Watson fighting with his teammate over there, J.C. Mathis, and it went off somebody's foot.
I want you to watch this right here. Watch Rolando Howell. Now, we've got him circled right there. See him out of bounds? Now, watch him come up the side of the floor, work his way into the middle. Now he runs all the way to the other end. Chuck gets him looking straight up the seam. Terrific pass to get the ball to him underneath. He just kind of slipped through there, and nobody noticed.
He's 7 out of 8 from the floor. I'd say we have two hot players. He's 8 of 9 from the floor. Wow, what a half. It's a 27-27 tie. I'd say Watson has to touch it on the other end. I'm correct. Here we go. Is it going to be number 55 on one team and number 35 on the other team, and that's it? Maybe we should let these guys go one-on-one.
They are.
Yeah, they basically are. Howell, this time, not Howell. And it comes free to Bradley. Go out for three. In and out. And a rebound off to J.C. Mathis. Virginia by a deuce. Jennifer jump stop. Goes through all kinds of traffic and hits it.
Powell was somewhat of a tentative reach in that time to try to slap it away. Nobody challenged Jennifer, and he went right down the lane. By the way, that's Keith Jennifer.
That's right. Now, if anybody can stay with him, he draws a double team. That one comes out. Watson's help, I think, altered his shot just a little bit. But he's still being the man. Watson, great look, reverse layup.
How about that move?
17 for Travis Watson. Timeout. The lead is 6, matching the biggest advantage for the Hoos with 29.3 left.
That was a great catch.
It sure was.
I'm not sure he didn't travel with a basketball, but forget it. It was a tremendous catch. Watch this.
He goes it up and then goes to it. I think by the time he caught it, it was clean.
Yeah, I think maybe he fumbled the basketball. You got to have possession to be able to travel. He didn't have possession. That was a great turn underneath the reverse off the glass.
17 points for Watson and 16 for Orlando Howell. Been kind of fun to watch, huh? Those two guys just having at it. And Virginia, after trailing by as many as 9, now leads by 6, 33-27. Coming up, John Saunders and Jay Billis with the College Hoops Tonight halftime report. Bonnies and Q's going at it. That'll be in the second half by the time John and Jay get it. They'll talk about the rest of the NIT field. And Billis breaks down the dance. I've seen Jay Billis in his break dancing. It's something impressive to watch. You'll want to stick around for that in 30 seconds.
I'm going to be glued to the screen.
South Carolina working for the final shot. See if they try to run Jamel Bradley free for a 3 here. He's down on the baseline with Itson. 12 on the clock. They feed the low post. There he comes. Didn't get the 3. Has to give it up. Itson, kick out on the baseline. The runner won't go. Howell can't get it to drop either. And the rebound is Chris Williams, and that's halftime. South Carolina had a couple looks before the horn sounded. Orlando Howell was 16, Travis Watson 17. 2 huge halves. 33-27. Cavaliers lead it at home. College Hoops Tonight halftime report standing by our guys, John and Jay. Fellas.
Yeah, look at the longtime head coach of the Virginia Cavaliers, Terry Holland. As you come into the NIT, after the embarrassment somewhat and the disappointment of not making the NCAA field settles in, you probably as a coach not sure exactly what you're going to get.
Well, you don't know whether your players are going to be focused on the task at hand, which is playing hard, and I think that was part of the problem for Virginia early in the first half. Travis Watson had a spectacular first half with 17 points, 8 rebounds, but Virginia really wasn't guarding early on in the game. That's why they found themselves with only 8 points after about 10 minutes. But when they picked up their defense, all of a sudden, as coaches like to tell their players, that picked up their offense as well. And when Virginia guards, they're a very good team. When they don't guard, they're easy to beat.
They take a 6-point lead into halftime. This is a team that beat Duke and still didn't make the NCAA field. When we come back, we'll look elsewhere in the NIT. Syracuse with a home game against St. Bonaventure.
ESPN2's presentation of the Owens Corning NIT postseason tournament is brought to you by Sports Century, the top 50 and beyond. Weeknights at 8, only on ESPN Classic. And by Acura. Experience the performance today at your local Acura dealer.
Halftime in Charlottesville. Virginia on their home floor leads 33-27. They trailed at one stage by 9 points. Came storming back with their defense. And two of the hottest first halves we've seen all year from Travis Watson and Rolando Howell.
And we're going to give them co-billing in the first half. Not one was just the star. Travis Watson with the baseline jumper. Rolando Howell with the same type of shot. Look at the turn right here off of the block and a nice little roll into the rim. Watch the cut off of the screen by Howell right across the lane. Again, watch the nice catch inside by Travis Watson. Rolando Howell on the pass from Chuck Gibson, catching and shooting. What a first half by those two guys.
One was 8 of 10, one was 8 of 12, 17 for Watson, 16 for Howell. And Travis Watson, well on his way to a double-double, had 8 rebounds to lead all rebounders in the first half as well. So we're set to start the second half.
Roger Mason did not score a point in the first half. The first time this year that has happened.
See if they try to get him the ball. Although if Watson keeps scoring every trip down, they're not going to have to get anybody else the ball. There's Mason. There's the first shot. There it goes.
Roger Mason Jr., nothing but the bottom.
The biggest lead of the night now. Good call, partner. Bradley will try to answer, and does. Jamel knocks it home.
Oh, we're going to have two different guys now in the second half?
Let's have guards score now. That's a good idea. Williams, he'll take a 3 and airballed it. Trying to save it out on the baseline. And there'll be a push foul down there.
Itson had a hold of the basketball underneath. I don't know. Was it Williams that pushed him?
I think it might have been Watson. At any rate, Chuck does a nice job doing the dirty work, as he always does. It was on Watson. That's Travis's first personal. Lucas, guarded by Mason.
1-4 set. Lucas out there. They'll try to work Bradley off the screen here.
Here's Bradley on the baseline. Kick out. Itson trying to feed Kitchings. The big lefty got it.
Good, nice little touch in there, doesn't he? For a guy 6'10".
They've got 5 left-handers on this team, including Kitchings. That's the most they've ever had on a South Carolina roster. I don't know who keeps those stats, but that is a lot of left-handers. I think Georgia Tech has that many, too. There aren't many teams that have that many guys that are southpaws. Deep ball, in and out. Kitchings a rebound. Tony's got 6 boards. He's tops on Carolina in that category.
Watch Lucas trying to work off of the kitchen screen.
And he got to it. Mason ran by him. Now he leaves it for the big fella on the fade.
Nice move. Boy, Lucas right into the lane. Good dribble penetration. Got it there. Kicked it to Kitchings. And here come the Gamecocks.
Big Tony makes it a 2-point game. Williams. Nice move inside. Slicing Chris Williams. 6 for Chris. Here's the man of the hour in the first half. Howell might have gotten away with a little shove there on Jennifer. Watson comes out. There's a mismatch. Bradley guarded by Watson. So Howell's open, but he missed on the baseline. Howell missed. Hall rebounded. And Williams offensive foul. Bradley held his ground. And Williams picks up his 3rd. Pete Gillen didn't like that call too much.
South Carolina team had 78 charges taken coming into this basketball game, and that was almost like 30 more than they had all of last year.
Well, Jamel Bradley is listed at 165 pounds. He might weigh 151 in the shower with his clothes on. And when he was run into by Williams, it didn't take much to go sliding backwards. Maybe a little after the end of the deal, but he got away with it. Takes the charge. Lucas, great dish. Howell going to have to earn it from the free throw line. Not quite sure how he missed that one.
Second time in a row that Aaron Lucas has gotten the ball down into the lane with that with that penetration. That time he dumped the ball down inside to Howell. Look at this dribble penetration. Right into the lane, the bounce pass, fouls committed, and Rolando Howell cannot finish it.
Well, Pete's going to have to go to the bench here, isn't he? Williams has 4 fouls unless I'm a little wacky here. Howell's going to go to the free throw line.
Some would say that.
Whether I'm at a game or not. First free throw for Howell tonight. And he is a sub 60% free throw shooter. I showed it on that one. There comes Chris Williams out. He might be done for a long time. And they'll bring in Elton Brown.
Makes it tough on Pete Gillen because he loses a guy who averages 14 points and 6 rebounds. He gives you a pretty well-rounded game. Plus, he's a pretty good passer.
Yeah. There goes the second one. Much better stroke there. 17 for Howell. He and Watson tied for top honors in the ball game, each with 17. 3-point game.
Look at Jennifer handle that ball.
And Bradley caught with his hand in the cookie jar, picks up his first foul. Jamel, you see with the hearing aids, and I know it's been a well-documented story, but he is quite a story. All-time leading three-point shooter in South Carolina history. Lost the majority of his hearing as a youngster, but those hearing aids have brought about 80% back. He's a great kid, a great shooter, a great competitor. And he's up for the Comeback Player of the Year award, the Jimmy V Award at the ESPN Awards at the Final Four. He's one of the finalists in that category. It'll be awarded on Friday night, the night of the weekend of the Final Four. Here he is on the other end, rimming out a three. Howell, I'll make it Kitchings battling for the rebound. And he's bumped down there by Adam Hall.
One of the things I like about Tony Kitchings tonight is the fact that he's putting himself in position to get rebounds like that. He's maneuvering around and not just standing and looking. That time he got in position to get that miss by Bradley and almost had the stick back.
Big Tony drains it from the free throw line. So he's had an excellent first half. Second half, rather. 5 points in this half for the Gamecocks. And he can draw them back to within 3 if he knocks this one down. Got them both.
Yeah, nice touch. Really nice for a guy 6'10". Full court pressure again by South Carolina.
3 minutes into the second half. It's a 3-point game. Cavaliers in front. Hall, nice dish. And a mugging down low. Either Kitchings or Howell. You could call on either one of them just about.
Yeah, you beat pressure. You beat it with quick passes. Make sure you get it there before the defense has a chance to rotate. They got it to their left side and a nice dish right there to the inside. And obviously a foul will send Brown to the line for a couple.
Elton Brown.
He's been somewhat of a scoring slump in his last 9 games, averaging 3 points a game.
Made the honorable mention all-freshman team in the ACC, though, because he did have some good games. His best game was against Georgia Tech, a double-double of 20 points and 10 rebounds. Twice he was the ACC Rookie of the Week. So he's had his moments. And tonight, 5 points. Freshman out of Newport News, Virginia. This is his second. Tony Kitchings, another rebound. Loose ball in the backcourt. Itzen looks up at the clock and knew that time had run out.
Bad pass by Bradley that time. The deflection caused the ball to go backwards, and Itzen couldn't catch up with it fast enough to get it across. Dave Odom wondering what he has to do to beat this Virginia pressure.
It is the first time they turned it over this half so far, but they have been hassled and rattled. And now Virginia takes over.
Hey, Brad, sometimes you don't have to get the steal. Sometimes just creating havoc out there will do just enough.
Mason cut off by Bradley. There's a quick crossover dribble. Didn't get it off the glass. Turns off from Kitchings to Lucas. And Aaron weaving through traffic.
Well, Jennifer got to Bradley in a hurry, didn't he?
He is quick. Lucas crossover on Mason, lost the ball. There was a reason, say the officials. Travis Watson says, I didn't touch him. Mike Ito says, yeah, you did. Second foul on Watson.
Once again, it's Lucas getting deep into that defense with that dribble penetration. Look at this. It's about the 4th time this half he's gotten down in there. That time he got fouled before he could get to the lane, but put a lot of pressure on that Virginia defense.
Chance for the Gamecocks to cut it to 2 if they score this trip. Howell has 1 point is all in this half after the sensational first half. Kitchings sets a pick for Bradley. Give and go. Now Tony in the paint. Nice move, but he didn't finish. Neither did Howell. They both missed in close, and Lucas off his hand out of bounds to Virginia. 15:46 remaining in the ball game. Cavaliers still in the lead by 4.
ESPN and ESPN2, home of the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship.
For over 60 years, Owens Corning has been advancing the science of insulation, roofing, sound control, even home theaters. And everything we've learned, we've put into one very special place, your home. Owens Corning, we know homes.
Sometimes just hanging out with your friends is all it takes to have a great time. But instead you are here, grounded, because you smoked weed and your parents found out. Lose your parents' trust, and you can kiss your social life goodbye.
I'm here for the install. I'm at your front door, sir.
I'll tell you what, we'll meet you back there sometime between 12 and 5. Always wanted to say that.
The more powerful Acura RL.
It's tough to see things clearly these days. The situation in the world, our economy, your investments. But investing is the job at Janus, and Janus is working to spot opportunities, using the approach that's worked long-term, applying lessons from the recent past, investing in companies that show signs they can perform in this economy, and into the next. Get there. Janus.
$15:46 remaining in the ball game. 41-37 in this first round NIT game at University Hall in Charlottesville, Virginia. Cavaliers leading on their home floor. Brad Nessler and Larry Connolly along with you. I don't think anything could have kept the pace up that Howell and Watson were putting together there in the last 10 minutes of the first half, and it kind of looks like they used each other up because the second half now has been a little bit slow for both teams.
Yeah, with Chris Williams out of the lineup for Virginia, somebody's got to pick up that scoring slack. I think it's going to be Roger Mason Jr.
He hit the opening shot of the second half. You know, we went the first half without either team making a free throw. I don't remember the last time that's happened either. One team didn't shoot one, South Carolina, and Virginia was 0 for 3. Here's Mason Jr. with 9 on the shot clock, looking for a pick. He's going to take the deep ball without the screen. In and out. Rebound, Kitchings. How to keep those elbows in so he doesn't get an offensive foul, and was able to.
A little adrenaline there, bringing the ball up. Clear it out, I'll bring it myself.
When he dribbles, the floor hurts. Itson always looking for the assist, the open man.
Hal's in trouble in the corner.
Yeah, he picked up his dribble. 9 on the shot clock. Lucas, the kick out. Itson trying to go one-on-one. Got a 15-footer. At least got the iron, but that's it. There's another rebound. Watson, his 9th. Mason on the other end. Nice move. There's the guy that you said would pick up the slack.
Yeah, that was a great spin move inside offensively. I think he's the one who's got to go. Virginia's got to look to somebody offensively. Be the one guy I'd go to.
So the lead swells to 6. Bradley to try to cut it in half. Does.
Watson forgot about Bradley.
Yeah. Don't ever forget about him. Number 250 from three-point land. Actually, that's 251. Take it back. At any rate, it's more than anybody else has ever had at South Carolina. Past B.J. Mackey, who I thought was a great, great shooter. Did it with ease this year. Oh, nice look to Watson.
Roger Mason Jr. with a great pass to Brown inside. Pretty. Was it Brown or Watson?
Watson with 19. 5-point Virginia lead. Bradley thought he was going to try another one, but he didn't. Now he's in trouble. Inside, Lucas Chance for a three-point play. Howell with a great look.
A little reversal of roles there. Rolando Howell out top, dropping the ball to the guard underneath. Good cut by Lucas. Roger Mason Jr. once again getting the basketball inside. Look at this nice pass. Boy, that is pretty. Good dish inside. Good catch. Good finish. Look at this. Spin move. Once you see that opening, you got to take advantage of it. Watson did.
Lucas can't cap the three-point play, but Howell says, you know what, let's get two more. Two would be good.
And here come the Gamecocks again.
1-point game.
We can't have anything but good games, right?
We'll take it.
Is that the rule?
I think so. Okay. Last night came down to the last shot. Reese Gaines hit one with 5 seconds left. Al McCauley almost hit a three at the buzzer, and Larry and I were right behind that shot, and we thought it was going. It hit the front of the iron. That was the Louisville-Princeton game. And this one now a one-pointer as well with just under 13 to go.
Boys from Palmetto State about ready to take the lead right here if they can get one.
Watson bumping with Howell. If it's on Watson, it's going to be 4. He just got 2 cheap ones, and that'll take a major, major chunk out of the Virginia attack. Remember, Chris Williams already has 4.
Come back and take a look at the foul. Howell right here trying to get open. He spreads himself out, and what he's saying right there, Travis Watson is, he says he's pushing me off.
Actually got him right in the chops with an elbow. And now 2 of the starters for Virginia have to sit with 4.
How about the 7th team foul for Virginia? 12:50 to play.
Free throws coming up. Howell missed the front end of the 1-and-1. Well, had a chance to tie it and couldn't.
Virginia spreading their offense.
Brown had a nice first half. Nice spin off the glass. Whew. Good shot.
Freshman showing you a little something right there. Here comes that half-court trap again.
Lucas got around it, got through it, dished off it. Howell off the glass.
Boy, how about the job Lucas is doing getting into that defense of Virginia and dropping those passes off. That time Rolando Howell, well, he might have even walked with that basketball. Look how he picked up his foot.
Second best game of his life. And we still have 12 minutes to go. 47-46. Mason looking for a pick. Drew a double team. Didn't get it back to Clark. Got it in the corner, though, and the long ball's in and out. Who's going to get the rebound? I'll take Tony Kitchens.
He just wades his way through there tonight, huh? He's got to be up close to double rebounds. I wonder how many rebounds he's got.
He's got 8. I'll check it. Opportunity now for the Gamecocks again to lead if they score. Boynton goes low block. Howell. He's got another one.
Brad, he just has an actor's scoring. I mean, his ability to catch the basketball and get it on the glass in a hurry is remarkable.
South Carolina is back in front. 48-47.
Kitchens blocked it.
Blocked it by Kitchens. That's his second block shot of the night. Lucas around a Kitchens pick. Only thought about the long ball and not a good job blocking it. Tried to get it to Howell. It's stolen away. And on the other end, chance for a three-point play for Adam Hall, who hadn't scored all night long.
I think Inson's going to pick up that foul, too. He tried to get in a position to draw the charge. Good job by Hall to take advantage of him, too. Watch him. He's kind of backing up. He's on his heels. Now, once he starts into that lane, he bumped him just as he started to go up. Good call.
So Hall will go to the free throw line with 10:43 remaining. First points of the night, averaging just under, as you see, 10 on the season, which is what he averaged last year. Tony Kitchens gets a well-deserved rest on the South Carolina bench, hoping and anticipating for a TV timeout here to get a little bit extra rest. So Adam Hall, senior out of Katy, Texas, one of the tri-captains on this Cavalier squad, trying to put the Hoos up by a deuce, and he got it. Hall's three-point play gives Virginia a 2-point lead. We've got 10:43 to go.
Shelly, listen, it's Greg. I'm at the dentist. Yeah, okay. Shelly, I want to come into work. They don't know what I've got. I have a goose. Scratching, rashing, 24-hour, like, mumps. What else can I have? I am really sick. Both ears gone. Really bad haircut. I'm in traction.
The Acura MDX with torque managing 4-wheel drive.
I was eating waxed fruit this week. No.
Taking the SUV to a place it's never been before.
I can't stay here another minute.
Not what you need to hear. Then Super 8's where you need to stay. As clean as can be 1,900 times over. Clean, friendly Super 8. All the room you want.
You wanted to see me?
Did you cook my steak?
Yeah.
You are
Awesome!
For a steak you'll love.
Would you sign my belly? Big fan, big fan.
Head to Applebee's Steak Stampede. Get a lot of beef for your buck with our famous house sirloin, Bourbon Street steak, or 20-ounce porterhouse complete with sides. So get in line for a great deal.
To my best friend,
Dan. I'm Dan.
Eating good in the neighborhood.
Is your dandruff sending the wrong signals?
Go!
No. Get Selsun Power. Doctors recommend Selsun Blue. Man, that dude's awesome. Get Selsun Power.
So, set up a department meeting for tomorrow and put in a call to the client. Get them up to speed. Anything else?
Here's a thought. Instead of saving money by not using paper, we could just go to Staples.
Yeah, with Staples 365 savings, they compare prices and back it up with 110% price match guarantee.
I like that. Jot that down.
Low prices on every item, every day. Staples 365 savings. Yeah, we've got that.
Syracuse and St. Bonaventure. Queth Duaney is going to start this thing. Off the miss. Up. Grabs the loose ball rebound. Off to the break. Finds Deshaun Williams, who leans in. The finger roll is good. Brad and Larry.
Kind of a Saunders-like finger roll there. 8-point game there. There's the bracket and the Owens Corning NIT first round on that side of things. Second round starts March 18th. And here in round one, 50-48 Virginia. In a game that has seesawed back and forth since halftime. Pete Gillen's team looking for their 18th win of the year. They are 10-1 against non-conference opponents this year. Virginia obviously being a non-conference opponent. In the old days, they were conference foes in the ACC.
It was back when they had games when Frank McGuire's coaching in South Carolina. They had games in the 20s. You're talking about the end of the game. They go to four corners and just hold the ball.
Itson from 16. Rebound off to Virginia. And off to J.C. Mathis. The last time these two teams played at University Hall was in '71, and it was a thriller. Barry Parkhill hit a jumper from the baseline for a 50-49 win over then number 2 South Carolina. And a whistle and a foul underneath. Petrovicius, I think, is the guilty party. That's his second foul. Coming up 5 o'clock Eastern on Thursday and Friday. Chris Fowler, Digger Phelps, and Dick Vitale will analyze the afternoon games as the men's field splits from 64-32. And the College Hoops Tonight NCAA Special presented by Staples. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. Speaking of that game in '71, Cremens would have been on that South Carolina team, wouldn't he?
Sure would have.
Bobby Cremens. That tells you how long ago it is these two teams met in this floor, on this floor, in regular season play.
He actually had dark hair at that time.
Yeah, he did. And Barry Parkhill now is actually associate athletic director here in Charlottesville. We tile this together somehow. You just have to give us time. Jason Clark, freshman, scoreless so far tonight.
There is a thread. There is a thread that runs true throughout college athletics.
Powell gets the rebound. And Carolina with an opportunity to tie. We're past the midway point of the second half. Got a good one going in Charlottesville.
Boyd almost lost it between his legs.
Lucas trying to get around Mason. Gets around everybody somehow.
the world did he do that?
I don't know. Smallest guy on the floor.
He had to be a contortionist to reach back and shoot the ball. He was so far underneath the basket.
We're tied at 50. And whistle and a foul. It'll be on Boynton.
Let's go back and take a look again at Aaron Lucas, who really has been awfully good this second half. His dribble penetration toward the lane. Look at this maneuver right here. Look at him reach back.
Oh,
boy, that is some kind of athletic move right there.
He's the two-time captain of this team. Senior out of Columbia.
Dave Odom came in to take this job. They had their first team meeting. He walked in and he says, all right, who's the leader of this team? And every guy in the room pointed to number 5.
Yeah. That pretty much told him right there. I found my leader. All I had to do was ask the question. And a shoulder thrown in by Mathis. Offensive foul. Tony Kitchings leads this South Carolina team in charges taken. Larry was talking about their number of charges taken this year. And they take one there to get the ball back. So they've got an opportunity to lead again as we're under 9 minutes.
Lucas waving everybody off. He thinks he can bring the ball up against Roger Mason Jr. without any problem. Here comes the trap. You don't want to dribble into a trap. Avoid the trap. Get rid of the ball.
Bradley open. Missed the three. Williams clears it off. Chris back in there playing with 4 fouls. Watson remains on the bench with his 4. Virginia's got foul trouble from 2 of their big guys. 50-50, 8.5 to play. With Larry Conley, Brad Nessler, along with you from Charlottesville. Round 1 of the NIT. It's been a good one. Back and forth between the ACC and the SEC here. And a walk. Jermaine Harper turns it over. That's the second mistake he's made. The first one being letting Jamel Bradley get open for the 3 on the other end, though he didn't hit it, and then turned it over down in the front court. So 8:20 remaining in the ball game. We're dead even, 50 apiece.
That wasn't very bright.
Introducing a vehicle designed for your adventures in reality. The all-new, more powerful CR-V from Honda.
ESPN goes to Washington. From the congressional steps to the White House lawn, ESPN tackles the nation's capital. Join the party at SportsCenter, ESPN Radio, ESPNClassic.com, ESPN the magazine, and the truck roll into town to celebrate top DC athletes, coaches, and legends. And PTI, which originates from DC, will have some surprise political guests each day. ESPN goes to Washington, presented by Budweiser, continues tomorrow.
Are you ready for high-speed internet access? Introducing AOL High-Speed Broadband, now available with Time Warner Cable.
We're talking fast. Click, you're there.
Everything you love about America Online. Email, instant messages, parental controls, now even faster.
I get connected in an instant.
Get your favorite music, videos, and games at lightning speed.
I can be on AOL and on the phone at the same time.
As easy and as fast as it gets. Welcome.
It's the fastest I've ever seen.
Call 1-800-551-4649 now to get AOL high-speed broadband or go to AOL keyword cable. Operators are standing by.
It's faster than you could ever imagine.
Not just broadband, AOL high-speed broadband.
I am so ready. What are you waiting for?
America Online, now at high speed. Call 1-800-551-4649 today or go to America Online, keyword cable. Call today and get free installation, free activation, and a free modem to use. America Online. So easy to use, no wonder it's #1.
Friday night exclusive coverage of the NCAA Women's College Basketball Tournament starts on ESPN2. First round action, 6 Eastern. The tourney will tip off with Indiana and TCU. And at 11:30 Eastern, Santa Clara meets LSU on ESPN2. ESPN's your exclusive home. The NCAA Women's Basketball Championship. Duke is the #1 seed in the East region. Here in first round, Owens Corning NIT action. About where we started. Beginning of the ball game. Even. Powell all the way through traffic.
How about that move by Carlos Powell?
Now I know why you like him.
Oh, he simply ran off from Elton Brown. Freshman against freshman there.
First deuce of the ball game for Carlos, and it puts his team ahead by 2. Mason, deep ball. Williams, great offensive rebound.
Well, it was a good catch, wasn't it?
Sure
Ball
was.
extended behind him, and he reached back and grabbed it, pulled it back to him.
Chris has 8, playing with foul trouble.
Get the ball to Lucas. Let him penetrate again. Look at that double team. Get into that lane. Give it up.
And he's just going to go up with it. The little guy is playing offense all of a sudden.
He has been terrific at getting that ball in against that Virginia defense into that paint area.
8 for Aaron. Lead is 2 again for South Carolina. 7:20 left. Williams bounce pass down low to Brown. Double team. Will try to go through it, and Kitchings blocked it. Here comes a 3-on-1. Bradley and Lucas play catch. Aaron Lucas, chance for a 3-point play.
Foul committed on the other end by Jason Clark. How about the 2-man fast break that time by the 2 guards from South Carolina? Good slap out on the break here. Bradley's got it under control, gives it up. He makes sure that Jennifer commits to him, and when he does, Bradley delivers it to Lucas for an easy one.
And you know who started all that? Tony Kitchings has 11 rebounds and 3 block shots. That block shot's what started it. I was wondering how long Pete Gillen would wait to bring number 35 back in. Here comes Watson. So now Watson comes back in. He and Williams both playing with 4 fouls. And at the free throw line is the captain, Aaron Lucas, looking for his 11th point, and he rips it. And all of a sudden, the Gamecocks go up by 5. Some great play on both ends of the floor. They lead 57-52.
For over 60 years, Owens Corning has been advancing the science of insulation, roofing, sound control, even home theaters. And everything we've learned, we've put into one very special place, your home. Owens Corning. We know homes.
Tina?
Hi, you want to say Todd?
Ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm trying to keep the mileage down on this car, so I drive it backwards 4 days a week.
Need a motor oil for a high-mileage car? We developed one. Pennzoil high-mileage vehicle restores the performance of older engines.
If you have a well-oiled machine with over 75,000 miles, bring it to Jiffy Lube for Pennzoil high-mileage vehicle.
Mayor travels bring you serenity. Satisfaction.
Like when you book ahead, ask for the daylight savings rate and save 25% on your days in room. It's like getting the bathroom free. All you need is the inspiration to book now.
Whoa. What was he thinking?
Introducing a vehicle designed for your adventures in reality. The all-new, more powerful CR-V from Honda.
Mayor travels bring you tranquility. Harmony. The harmony of the CD you get free from Days Inns. Rock, country, just for going to bed. Free CDs for staying at Days Inns when you have the inspiration to book now.
ESPN2's presentation of the Owens Corning NIT postseason tournament is presented by Owens Corning. At Owens Corning, we know homes. And in part by Pennzoil, we're driving protection.
Cavaliers of Virginia at home down. They are in their 9th NIT postseason action. They wanted an 80 in 92. They'd like to go to New York again, but now they got to make up a 5-point difference with 7 to go.
Yeah, they got their big guns back in there again.
Here's Williams, one of them.
Not a good shot.
He airmailed that one right over the backside. Gibson just waiting for it.
He might have lost control of that. I think that was even a controlled shot.
Yeah, he drew a double team, and it just kind of flew off his hand. Now they face the possibility of falling further behind. Gibson tried to get it down there. What a steal that was by Adam Hall.
They really hit get down there and grab that bounce pass.
Before he hit the camera guys down there in the baseline. Sloppy passes on both ends. They both turn it over. Right back we come. So we approach 6 minutes, and it's 57-52. Gamecocks in front. Watson's got to be careful. Here's Bradley for three, and he knocks it down. It's fourth of the night.
They love that position for him. Getting the ball about 22 feet out, straight on.
Second biggest lead of the night now for South Carolina. They led by 9 at one point early in the first half. They're up 8 here with under 6 to go. And Virginia gives it up for the second straight trip down court. Bradley. Wise move by the senior to pull it out.
That was dangerously close to that midcourt.
He looked down at midcourt and said, whoa. Almost just walked into it, over and back.
Well, one of those great Walendas walking on that wire.
Wow. I don't know about that shot. I don't think so. Jennifer. And he's bumped as he tried to get through the traffic. I think Gitson got him. It was.
Brad, go back and take a look. Watch Jamel Bradley right here. Now, you're going to see him come off of the screen right in here. He'll come right around this area right here. That's where they want to try to get him the basketball. Look at this. The double screen, staggered. There he is, wide open off the screen. You got to get there in a hurry because it gets out of his hands in a hurry.
Jennifer gave up the three. There's where they want it. Watson, that's why they want it there.
He is so tough with his back to the basket.
He really knows how to play the low post. If he was bigger, and he still may be a good player at the next level, but if he was a couple inches bigger, wow. Lucas, Itson, reverse layup, nice shot.
And once again, who delivered the pass?
Lucas.
Yes.
It remains 8. 62-54. Pretty soon, Virginia won't be able to trade 2 for 2, and they'll never get back in this thing. They try to get it into Watson, and foul's going to be called on Howell. Travis Watson. Watch him post up in the low block.
Anytime he gets it that low, that deep against anybody, most of the time he's going to score. Good position. Turn around and then kiss right in the middle of the basket. Didn't even use the glass.
21 for Travis.
I assume he's got a double-double already.
Trying to bring his team back a little bit closer here.
Aaron Lucas already with 4 assists.
Oh, he willed that one in.
That was a wahoo prayer.
It sure was. Travis led the team, talking about rebounding, 20 of the 27 games this year. Tonight, 22 points, 23 now. What a game he's had. He and Howell each with 23. 6-point game. Here's that full court pressure that caused the Gamecocks some trouble in the first half. Howell got it ahead to Boynton. Bradley on the drive.
How about that for a quick move? I think they expected the three-point shot. He put it on the floor, drove the baseline, got there before any defense could get to him.
Goes back to 8.
Well, there's a great move. Oh, terrific play by Adam Hall.
All 5 of Hall's points this half. Again, the heat on in the backcourt. Bradley and Lucas break it easily. 3-on-2. Aaron Lucas does the smart thing. Let's pull it out. We're under 4 minutes. We're leading by 6. Let's not get crazy. And then he goes right down the middle. The block shot gives it back to Virginia. Mason, pull up 3. Nope. Kitchens another rebound. His 12th.
What a night he has had. He and Lucas both.
Lucas has 11 points. Bradley has 14. Howell has 23. And Kitchens has 8. But he's done a monster job on the glass. That's for South Carolina. Chance come up for defense. And I believe Hall got a piece of that three-point attempt by Bradley. So they get their defense. They get their stop. Now they're looking to cut the lead back to 4. We're at 3 minutes. South Carolina leading Virginia round 1 of the NIT. On the Cavaliers' home floor.
Crowd wanting the offense to get in gear.
They want to get Mason open for a shot. They'll have a chance to talk it over. 2:47 left. Virginia trying to make up a 6-point deficit.
May your travels bring you serenity. Satisfaction. Like when you book ahead, ask for the daylight savings rate and save 25% on your days in room. It's like getting the bathroom free. All you need is the inspiration to book now.
Pizza Hut kicked it to me, now I'm kicking it down to you. The new Pizzone. If the Pizzone was a shoe, it'd be like the size 14 triple E. 51 cubic inches of perfection.
Wow, that's a big shoe.
$5.99 or 2 for $10.99. The new Pizzone from Pizza Hut.
People who don't use 1-800-COLLECT make me mad. I pity fools who don't know it saves $1 or $2. 1-800-COLLECT always leaves a good impression. Use 1-800-COLLECT. Save $1 or $2.
Dr. Kravitz? Let's lose that appendix.
Mother, I'm home. I gotta get out of
here. People everywhere are discovering the power of cheap tickets. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can find airfares up to 40% off on the web or on the phone. Airfares you can't find anywhere else. Cheap tickets, the best kept secret in travel for over 15 years.
Honey, you're going to be late for your interview.
I'm ready. Hair Club has been helping millions of people get educated on hair loss and what options actually work.
Hi, I'm here for the interview.
Oh, why don't you have a seat over there with the other applicants?
Hey, what are you looking at?
It'll only be a minute.
When you absolutely need to make a good impression, call 1-800-HAIR-CLUB for the answers to thinning hair.
Tonight, the Owens Corning NIT continues. 2 more first-round games on ESPN and ESPN2. Next here on ESPN2, LSU takes on Iowa. And at midnight Eastern, Temple travels into the Shark Waters, Tark Country, to take on Fresno State. And Rick Pitino's saying, let's see, if I get Temple, I got Cheney. If I get Fresno State, I got Tark. And I got enough problems with Princeton. Holy cow. It's enough to make you lose weight. Louisville's in the second round, though. And they will take on the winner of the Temple-Fresno State game next Tuesday night. Great game last night, and this one ain't too shabby either, partner.
Been at this second half. Pete Gillen now telling his offense what he wants. They've only got 10 seconds.
Mason has it in hand. They'd like him to take a shot if he could get a decent opening. Instead, it'll come from Hall, and he missed a 3. And Watson keeps it alive. And then Edson stripped it from him.
Not unusual for him to pluck one out of the air.
He leads the team in steals. In fact, he's number 2 all-time in career thefts. And he's got a whole season left to play. You think he won't end up being their all-time steal leader in Columbia? I think. Here he is on offense. Top of the circle. Packs it down to Kitching. Boynton. Wide open. Watson had to let him go, and now Howell is fouled by Jennifer.
Well, Boynton did a nice job of getting the ball into the paint that time. And again, Rolando Howell putting himself in a position where he can receive that pass. Just couldn't finish off the play. Couldn't get the basket, but he's got a couple of free throws.
2:11 left. Rolando Howell, 23 points. Missed the free throw. He's not a bad guy to foul. That's one part of his game that is not too strong. He is only 1 for 4 tonight from the stripe.
Interesting move here by Dave Odom. He took Bradley out of the game. He's got Lucas in place of him, so he's got the backcourt of Boynton and Lucas. And Ibsen actually with a 3-guard lineup.
Yep. And the second free throw rimmed out as well. So that leaves the door ajar a bit for Virginia with 2 minutes left. They've got an opportunity to make it a 4-point game. Try to come from behind here and win in round 1 on their home floor. We're under 2 minutes, 64-58. South Carolina in front. Roger Mason Jr. Finger roll, got it.
tried to get in there to get a charge, and he didn't get there in time. Mason with a terrific move. Quickly down the lane. Little bump as he goes up in the air. Roger Mason Jr., the leading scorers in the Atlantic Coast Conference. In fact, #3 scorer in the league this year. A nice move.
You can almost chalk this next point up as well. People tell me I shouldn't say that, but he's one of the great free throw shooters in the conference.
In the country.
In the country. Second in the ACC, I can say it now, at 88%. And he knocks down the three-point play, and it's a three-point game. Here we go. Crowd to life. Carolina by 3. And a $1:35 left. Lucas needs to call a timeout. Virginia's defense again. Now Pete Gillen says, let's make some noise. He's cheerleading over there on the sideline.
Good defensive effort that time by Virginia. South Carolina tried to break to the ball, and they denied them the movement toward the ball.
Well, now the strategy going on in the Virginia huddle as they need a defensive stop. They trail by 3. First half was all inside play over Orlando Howell. The second half, Lucas and Bradley have come to life.
Bradley with a nice shot right there. Again, the penetration, the skill of getting the ball in and kicking it out. Bradley again with a 3. This time Bradley on the baseline.
Jamel's got 14 points. Think of this. Jamel Bradley, the all-time leading three-point shooter. We've well documented that. He has 252 career threes at South Carolina. He had 11 threes as a freshman, 12 as a sophomore. You think he's lit it up the last 2 years, or is it just me?
No, I think that's pretty good.
South Carolina leading by 3 with 90 seconds left in regulation. 10 on the shot clock. Kitchings trying to give it up. Itson didn't get the 3, but he takes the deuce.
Good step in that time. The ball fake got the defender in the air, and he took one step in. Good mid-range jump shot from about 12 feet.
He just knew he didn't want to take the 3, knew exactly what his capabilities were apparently in that situation, and he gives his team a 5-point lead. A minute to play.
Good steal by Howell. Bad pass that time by Harper.
And time running out on the Cavaliers now. Trailing by 5. Foul on Harper in the backcourt. Will send Lucas to the free throw line.
He's another guy that struggles from that free throw line.
Virginia did such a nice job defensively before Carolina was forced to take the timeout. But then Itson steps inside his defender, steps inside the three-point line, knocks down the deuce, and then the steal on the other end. And that's a 4-point swing that Virginia may not be able to recover from as Lucas hits the free throw. And the lead swells to 6.
Right now it's a 2-possession game. He makes this one. It is 3 possessions for Virginia for them to score to get back in this game. He missed it.
Missed the second, though. So it is 2 possessions still. But now Mason and company have got to go to work. They don't have any time to not think 3. Mason's looking for a pick. Nobody comes out. Paul does get an open look. And he got it.
Timeout Virginia.
Lead's cut in half. They wouldn't give up Mason, but by backing off Hall, Adam Hall hits only his 13th three-pointer of the year, and it couldn't have come at a better time.
This is a guy who only shoots 25% coming into the game from beyond that three-point line. Look at this. They knew Mason was the guy they were going to try to go to, but Hall says, I can make it too. A little hesitancy. He looks up, no defense. I'll tell you what, he's a good 4 or 5 feet beyond that three-point line when he lets it go.
That's a deep ball. He's one of 3 guys that has played against South Carolina before. You got to go all the way back to the 1999 fall season in the Puerto Rico shootout. South Carolina beat Virginia 73-71 in that one. Mason, Paul, and Watson all played in that game. For South Carolina, Lucas, Bradley, Itson, Kitchings, and Petralicious all played. So it's a veteran squad on both sides. Been a good game, seesawing back and forth. South Carolina by 3. Here comes full court pressure with 39.3 to go. And it'll be Orlando Howell as the trigger man. Can he get it inbounds? He got it to Lucas. They ran a nice weave for Aaron just to get him the ball, and now he's fouled by Jason Clark. Lucas will go back to the free throw line where he missed his last one. But he has 10 of his 12 points, does the senior two-time captain in this half. ESPN coverage of the Pacific Life Open at Indian Wells continues tomorrow. The women's semifinals at 1 and 9 Eastern. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. Lucas hits the free throw, and a big one it is.
There was a point back during the season when South Carolina went into Georgia to try to win a basketball game down there, and Aaron Lucas missed a couple of free throws right at the end. That would have given them the win.
He didn't miss these two.
He got these two. Boy, is that a big lift for him.
5-point game. Mason looking for a pick. And now it'll be Harper for three. Off the mark. Powell the rebound. He's fouled. 26.9 left. Foul's going to be on Chris Williams, I think, and that might be the end of Chris's appearance in an orange and blue uniform for Virginia. Unless they come from behind, he is fouling out of his final game. Well, they already had senior day here back at the end of February and thought maybe they wouldn't see these kids play again. They've had the opportunity tonight, and they played hard, but that's it for Chris Williams, the senior out of Birmingham, Alabama.
Really strange year for the University of Virginia. They got off to such a quick start.
9-0.
And they got up, in fact, I think they got as high as number 4 in the polls.
They were still number 5 in late January, and then the bottom fell out. There you saw the start. Ranked in the top 10 for 11 weeks, and then the slide started, and they lost some tough games. And as Larry said, came back and beat Duke in a thriller here, and then lost to Maryland, and then lost to North Carolina State. And both Maryland and North Carolina State shot lights out against them. And that's what South Carolina did, quite frankly, in the early moments of this game. Howell hits the free throw. For Orlando Howell, that matches his career highs. Best game before tonight was 24 against Mississippi State earlier this year. Right now, this can put him in new territory. He missed it, but Kitchings just slammed the door shut on the Cavaliers, I think, right there.
What a rebound. Terrific offensive rebound by Kitchings. Did he get into that lane quick?
And the Cavaliers are going to lose on their home floor. As Watson hits a three, still not quite over for Travis. 13.2 left. And a quick foul by Mason.
Well, barring a miracle, South Carolina's going to pick up a road win. We always have that conversation living in the South like you and I do about ACC versus SEC.
Right.
All year long, the Southeastern Conference was ranked as the #1 conference in the country according to the RPI. I always wonder about the teams finished like in the 5 to 8 category, how they match up well. Well, tonight, South Carolina looks like they're going to get the better of Virginia.
Free throw by Lucas is ripped. He's hit his last 3 and 5 of his last 6. It's the big free throw right there. And there's just simply no way. 74-67. 3-possession game, and Virginia doesn't have enough time for 3 possessions, and folks start heading to the exit. So South Carolina is going to advance in the NIT, and Virginia's postseason woes will continue. They have not played well in the postseason for a number of years now. And South Carolina is going to move on, barring an 8-point shot coming up in the next 12 and a half seconds. I don't think it's going to happen. Good game, though. And South Carolina and the running Rebels of the Spoon Man will have at it in second round play. Charlie's running Rebels against Dave Odom's Gamecocks in round 2. LSU and Iowa follows us, don't forget. As the SEC meets the Big Ten in that one. And both those teams finished very strong in their respective conferences and did well in their conference tournaments. Final 10 seconds. Mason, long ball, doesn't matter whether it goes or not. Kitchings, yet another rebound, and 1.4 seconds remaining. Tony Kitchings gets shoved on the baseline. Dave Odom says, nice job, fellas, all the way around.
Good win for South Carolina. They get to 19 wins. They go to 19-14 on the year.
And Adam Hall takes the last shot, and it goes in and out. We were in and out of the lead between these two teams all game. Pete Gillen's club comes up short. Dave Odom's Gamecocks go to 19-14 and into round 2 of the NIT. The final score, South Carolina on the road, 74. Virginia, 67. That's going to wrap it up from Charlottesville. For Larry Conley, I'm Brad Nessler for our ESPN2 crew from the University of Virginia saying good night. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. John Saunders and Jay Billis, my buddies, standing by.